Hello, viewers and listeners. You're welcome to another edition of the program Midday Vibes, coming your way from Caliphate TV on Star Times Channel 141 and Caliphate Radio, transmitting on 91.9 MHz. I am Hajara Usman at Tajri, your uncle for the show. The Kebbi State Governor and the Niger State Government has approved the reopening of schools, all public and private schools across the states, citing measures to ensure a safe and conducive learning environment. But schools in insecurity-related areas will remain closed till further notice. In today's edition of the program, we will be discussing about the measures being put in place, the impact on parents and students, and what this means for the future of education in Nigeria as a whole. Joining us in the studio is Malam Nuruddin Bello Bodinga, security expert and founder, Nubel Expedia Consults Limited. You are welcome to the program, sir.
Good evening to you all.
Good afternoon, sir. So, what's your take on the issue of Niger State government and Kebbi State governments to reopen schools in urban areas, but schools in insecurity-related areas will remain closed till further notice? Do you think it's a right move?
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. I will still add on the introduction that I'm also a lecturer with the Department of Criminology and Security Studies at Iconic University. Sorry,
Okay,
I've
sir.
forgotten to add that before the program.
Okay, sir.
Well, that is also the existences of times and decision making. Politically, the government, Kebbi State has that duty and obligations to make decisions for the overall welfare and even protection of life and the property of its citizens. The episodes, very unfortunate episodes that occurred within the last month or so, abductions of schools, pupils. Don't also forget that there has also been that episodes in the same Kebbi State. Was it Birninyawi or what have you? There were also episodes or occurrences of such abductions, school abductions in neighboring Niger states.
Yes.
To us, whatever happens in Niger, even if it never happens in Kebbi, Kebbi is is a potential victim. And that is how I expect authorities, those that advise the government, especially government of Kebbi, to be very careful about even this decision. That from far look or appeared safer, but that thoroughly, if you are going to make a professional assessment of this decision, you still have to add that all is not that well. Why did I say so? Yes, maybe a pinch of that decision that has to do with recognition of the vulnerability of the rural areas. It's also a very good foresight, but that what do you call it? Accept considering or assumption or assuming that schools in rural areas are safe, on urban areas are safe, is also another miscalculation as per the war, as per the regime of terror is concerned. Don't forget, I usually call the attentions of the government and its apparatuses, that is security apparatuses, the reality that we just have to depoliticize this issue. You know, when we say depoliticization, the government side, they want to tell you that it is the oppositions that are exaggerating things. We too, we question the oppositions as an experts. We question them from politicizing. But that politicization of security does not only come from the oppositions. Even the power that be, that is the power, the people, the party in power. Sometimes they want to have by force, or even by force rather, they want to have a situation of calmness, even if the situation is not calm, because they believe that it is only when they portray that all things are okay that they will be assessed as a good leaders. But that I prefer a realist leader, somebody that tells his followers, hey, there is a danger, but we are working on it. There is nothing bad in doing that, because by doing that, you are also awakening the security, the vigilance of the individual, because this is a war that all hands must be on table, rather, to see that we win this war against terrorists. So if you are doing that, trying to protect or prevent or pretend that there is no problem, we will not. We the intellect or expert community will disagree with the government. That risk assessment expert that we are, when we see this, we know it, we touch it, we feel it, we detect it even from afar. So what we expect that the government of Kebbi to do is to be sure, if it is sure that it really follows all the rudiments of the security protocols and the rituals in taking this decision, then fine. But that they should also know that if expertise resources are not involved because I believe the government must have its own intelligence, must have input before they reach this. But that is their quality, durability of what will comes out of this decision depend upon the quality of the resource, whether expertise, whether expert, we still have to hammer that experts must be involved. Or if they are not be involved, and that what is been taken as an input to make the decision, which the government relied upon to make decision, definitely there could be a fallout. That was what I would say.
Okay, so having mentioned about the risks involved, so what are the potential now? What are the potential risks and benefits on this decision made by the two governors?
The risk is very obvious. That is, if let me build on where I stopped.
Yes.
I have already provided a clue even.
Yes.
But let me give a detail.
Yes.
That if the risk involved is if the decision to reopen the schools in urban areas is still not be based on the expertise, knowledge, and experiences, definitely there could be a surprise from the terrorists. They could even try to penetrate and infiltrate the so-called safe areas and prove that even the so-called or assumed safe areas are not safe. This has been the nature or culture of terrorists. They always want to prove a point against governments that they are fighting or against the people they are fighting, that that which you think cannot be touched will touch it. So because I will tell you this, I don't know of Kebbi, but I know of some states that I can figure out, including Sokoto State, that you will see that even the schools in urban areas are not in that heartbeats of the, except of, like say Sokoto, you see, you talk of Nagarta is in the heartbeat of the town. But you still have some schools like GGC or something like that. They are also the heartbeat. But the point is, I'm not telling you they are not safe. Everything, let me speak like government. Everything is okay. But let me tell you some things that we want. We are doing this so that we can make government to embrace. Yes. We know that we are not saying effort are not being made, yes, but at least let everybody wake up and do the needful. And that what do you call it? We should not be relying on the fact that yes, we have done everything. No, there is room for improvement. I will tell you that I was almost shocked, or I'm almost shocked whenever I visit an organization, even in the city or schools, and I see we still patronize the local Megadi. These people are watching. They are identifying our weaknesses, even traditional practices that the current practice, the current situations has already replaced that. You cannot continue to be using watchman as a security. It's not a security. In fact, security is a complete compendium of activities and measures. You just have to provide a system first. School or education security system must be in place. Even in Kebbi, we are talking about in Kebbi now. So what I will say is the risk is if these things that I mentioned are not there, even in the so-called safe havens, that is the urban communities, there could be a surprise, very negative one. We are not praying for that. Yeah. Sometimes when we speak, people thought like we are just concentrating on negative story. But that is not the truth. We are just telling you that you are open so that you can close the door. Yes. You have crack so that you can seal the crack. Bahaushe used to say, sauke kayanka baya zama kama gyara kayanka baya zama sauke maraba. So that is what we are doing. And whenever we speak, people sometimes get confused as to what is these people talking again? They are just thinking things that are unimaginary. It doesn't exist. It will never happen. And it is because of this that we find ourselves today in these situations. Before the Boko Haram, there had not been proper preparations. Thinking that it's only in Somalia now, we can never have such things. Or like play as pigeon. It's in pigeon. We had the Boko Haram, deadly ones for that matter, the insurgents and the terrorists. Like play, we have the deadly bandits, the terrorists in general, because that's the general name. That is their names. So, but the benefit is that at least the government is showing that it's responsive, that it is doing something to see that it is providing probably educational services, that it doesn't want the education to collapse. That is the benefit. Yes. But that there is just a few one, but risk is too high, honestly.
So what are the most critical measures that government should prioritize in schools to ensure that students are safe and to prevent abductions?
Starting with Safe School initiative that has been adopted 2019 by the Nigerian government. UN-backed, program. Nigeria is a general program that the United Nations initiated and asked all the conflict prone countries to key in. And I think Nigeria has done that. And Nigeria, the national level, in Nigeria also, I think in the last 2 years, I could remember I saw something on national televisions where they appointed, the federal government appointed even a coordinator, a national coordinator. So, but what happens, the reincarnation or resurrection of these things pose a serious question to whether these people are really serious. Is it the state that is not keen in? Is it the arrangements from the federal government that is having loopholes? So I will still ask question as to what happens to that initiative. Where are the resources put, or are they still not been having able to access resources, or are they being really provided with resources? If they are, how are they managing it, and how are they manufacturing strategies to see that the schools are safe? Because so far it proved that despite the existence of such initiative, schools are no more safe. Because what happens in Kwara or Niger together with Kebbi, it just tells you that something serious must be done.
So what role should parents and communities play to prevent school abductions and to keep students safe?
The parents if their children are going for boarding school, they have limited role because they have handed over their responsibility, the task of taking care to the government, that is to the school authority. But at yes, the parents still cannot be isolated as per the role. They just have to also provide it, what do you call it, security, local security awareness, moral upbringing, because sometimes you may have a situation where these bandits may penetrate these students. Especially what happens in Birnin Yaour, is it FGC Birnin Yaour or what have you, when Dogo Gede was even explaining how he was able to penetrate the school through his son. So you see the gaps. So somebody will come and enter school and pretend as if he was a student. So that means that school does not have, during our days, because I attended boarding school, there is no way you could do that. There are registers, there are roll calls in the hostel. So what really happens? If at all his own story was true, which is also very, very possible as far as the way we are doing our things in this country, Babu Sari. So, but I don't know from that time to date what lesson did the authorities learn. So the parent has a role to play, but it's not that it's very scanty. But the major role has to do with the government in this aspect. Yes, and that the role that they're supposed to play is establishing what do you call it, security, school security system that consists of the physical security spectrum, the system security spectrum that consists of. Yes, when we say physical security spectrum, we're talking about those physical measures that you see that has to do with fencing parameters and other things that try to protect or to prevent the threats from, that is to prevent security breach in the vicinity of the school. And the system has to do, because today we are living in a digital world. We cannot be doing analog security. So all these access controls and what have you systems must be put in place. So this is what we call some component of the security system. But when you have an expert that will design it for you, and where to even get those components, people that will man those components, the physical, the what have you, even the order of the equipment and whatever, to make sure that you have a complete system. If you go to private schools, the elite schools in Abuja and Lagos, you'll understand what I'm talking about. You see a very complete measure, complete system. So, but because it is government, I don't know our own mentality in this country. When government on, nobody on, and when nobody on, nobody cares, which I don't even believe also support such perspective. Oh, I'm hoping that the government of Kebbi will be off and doing. They will be very, very serious. Otherwise, these people will cause a lot of, even not only to the people, but even to the government. They should remember that they are fighting government, but they are using the civilians as a tool, as an instrument, so they can embarrass anybody. These bandits do not have respect on the chair that you sit on, or the titles you use. They can embarrass anybody. So that is also to come back to the risk. I'm just trying to tell you.
Since you mentioned about technology, so how do you think technology can be leveraged to enhance school safety and security across the country?
You see, there is what we call the triple T's, the troops in defense. You have the troops, that is the security personnel around. That is the troops, security personnel. You must have people that man the place. I said,
yes.
I'm telling you that I'm not compatible with using the local Megadi or Watchman. Yes, you just have a complete squads of physical security guys. Then that is the troops, the first T. Then the second one is the the what do you call it, the technology, logistics today are not analog logistics, they are digital logistics. Access control. Today there is an entrance that you don't even have to see a physical guard, but you just use the thumbprint to recognize whether you are the one that is expected to be in that place. And if it is not, you cannot be able to penetrate and get into that vicinity. So there are also body cameras. There are also CCTVs, surveillance equipments. I don't know whether public schools do have them. These very schools that the government is telling us that everything is okay, let's go back to the school. If I do not see what I'm supposed to see, if I have a child, I will not allow my child to go back to school. Because in this very digital era, especially the era of regime of terror, we still require them. But apart from this arrangement, all these things that I'm mentioning, I'm talking about the indoor arrangements. But there is the, outdoors arrangements. That is, you have to also look at the general threats in that exist. If you cannot be able to crush to reduce the capacity of the terrorists to launch attack, even the measures you are taking, there is what I call threat pressure. There will be a time when all your measures, all the security system you put in schools will be overpowered. So you have to, as you provided the first level of protection, you also have to be working to see that all these take and clear operations, hold operations, coordinated strikes and the land operations are effective, so that you degrade their capacity to launch attack. And you also reactivate and make sure that you make your intelligence system so sophisticated so that you can be able to be ahead of the terrorists, even if they are even at the level of planning to strike or to abduct, you could be able to get the information. So in this aspect, I am calling on our intelligence community to also look at the possibility of reinversing. I know they are doing well, they are doing their best, but that their best is not enough. And that they require the penetrative and infiltrative mechanisms. You just have to, these people need to be infiltrated and penetrated, honestly, adequately. I'm not saying they may not, but they are not adequately, because if they are, even at the level of the way they strike, they could be tackled. Because the essence of security system in general or as a whole is the objectives is to ensure prevention of security breach. It is not even when you have the attack. The schools has been abducted, the student has been abducted. I think vice principal also was killed. And that after some days or a week, now you see we cited these people. Now after citing some few days, you see a contingent from the Abuja that yes, we are going to recover this abducted student. Few days, how we recover them? Oh, we tried. We showed that we are responsive. As far as I'm concerned, you should even apologize. You should add what you did to the parent. Yes, they will have so-called that yes, their children, their worlds has come back. But you should also kneel down and apologize to them. Because initially, your work as a security provider is not even to allow the breach first. So where were you? Were you sleeping? Why did the children abducted? So you are talking to ordinary civilians. They will help you. Yes. So we should be waiting until when somebody is abducted. Then we'll recover that person. But recovery is just a second stage or second objective. That is ability to early detection, our response. And building resilience is the last one. The system should have is Nigerian security system resilience to threat. That is the question. I'm not going to answer that question, but they should answer by themselves.
So how effective do you think the current situation in Kebbi State is, and what more can be done?
I do not conduct situation assessment, which I prefer to call it, because they will be telling you threat analysis, risk assessment, but that is not complete. The overall assessment is situation assessment, security situation assessment, within which you have still the triple T's: threat analysis or threat assessment, threat and risk assessment. Then you have trend assessment. Then you have terrain assessment. That is geographical analysis. The geospatial nature of that very territory in which you are protected. That is Kebbi, for example. Now, where is the locations of these schools? Assuming it is only the schools that you have the responsibility to protect anyway. So where are they located? And what is the what do you call geospatial nature of their placements? And yes, geospatial nature, I mean, most of the schools, the way the colonial masters introduced schooling, they say school have to be at the outskirts of the town. Maybe because of the environment, it provides a conducive environment for learning. But then, today we have what? Yes. We have threats. Yes. And that is not also matching with what we have today. Yes. And the unfortunate situations? If there are going to be a new school today, despite this lesson that we have, we are not learning any lesson in this country. You will still see if somebody is allocating land outside the town for school. Not minding that if there is a way to even bring those schools from that the existing locations to the heartbeat of the town, will have even moved them in, right? And there are school collapsing, which has been the techniques that Sokoto State has been using right from the former governor. I think that was also working, but it was not guaranteed. Yes, when you see like Bodinga, is it Unity Bodinga? That is the school, the government girls secondary school Bodinga, and Raba and what have you, they'll all be collapsed to GGC, Sokoto, Soto, like that during that time. And it really helps the situation because you cannot be able to record or hear of we didn't record any abduction in Sokoto. But then that is not still. It may just be an emergency response, but that is not a permanent solution. Just like what I told you, we need an effective security system, complete not only a school system, because school system is a parcel of it's an aspect of the mother security system. If you are not doing anything to crush these guys, to be able to monitor their safe haven, to identify their safe haven, that is where they are living, their movements, their supplies, both tourism financing, where they are getting funds, the recruitments, the support they are getting, even the locals that support them, like the informants network. See, this issue of informant that has been posing a lot of threats and counterproductive to the effort against counter-terrorism effort. I will tell you there is an expertise blueprint. It's a system. You can design a way to take care of this problem. So that is how you do security operations. These are the problems like supply chains. What are we going to do to add to what we have? Because it's like what we have is not really yielding result. What do we do? Even homegrown strategies. We don't have to be opening books waiting for foreign countries to give us idea, or to go and read, or to go and wait for one white man to come and tell us what to do. We have the situation that the white man does not have. It is even we that's supposed to initiate the solution, document it so that somebody somewhere that may have our own situation may use as a model, as a Nigerian model. So this is it.
Okay. All right, viewers and listeners, it's still your show, Midday Vibes, coming your way from Caliphate TV on Star Times Channel 141 on Caliphate Radio, transmitting on 91.9 megahertz. You will take a short break, and we will be right back. Please stay tuned. Welcome back. In case you've just joined us, this is Midday Vibes coming your way from Caliphate TV on Star Times Channel 141 and Caliphate Radio transmitting on 91.9 MHz. And right here at the studio is Malam Nuruddin Bodinga, security expert and founder Nubel Expedia Consult Limited, and also a lecturer criminology and security studies, Iconic University. You want to be part of this conversation? The number to call is 090-6000-2022. Malam Bodinga, what lesson do you think Nigeria can learn from other countries or states to ensure that students are safe in schools? And what measures can be taken to ensure that the abduction that has happened will not happen again?
The first lesson is will. We are not the first country with this mess, but we are beginning to be the first country with lessons, with outlining lessons. So one lessons that we will learn from countries that experience this. You remember the United States experienced September 11, and that since that heavy attack up to today, it's in 2021. Sorry, 2020, is it 2001? That is
2001.
2001, I think. How many years today? About 20 something years. They have been able to provide, to be very responsive, to provide effective system that will breach, that will seal, that will breach the gaps in which the terrorists then capitalize on and strike on against America. I was expecting Nigeria to also have that, learn that lesson of will, commitment, lesson of early detection. Before that, putting measures to prevent crime, to prevent security breach, not waiting for the security breach to occur. Then you now start initiating operation this, operation that. Even the counter terrorism operation supposed to be anti-terrorism, not counter. Because when you say counter, you are talking about the second piece, that is detection, trying to react. You should be able to make it even very difficult for one to attack. They have to do something about insurgency. Because insurgency is the real problem, not terrorism. Terrorism is just a tactics used by the insurgents and sponsors of violence and instability against Nigerian nation. They just have to be committed, having purposefulness, as I mentioned, and be patriotic. We need a very responsible leadership, and we also need a committed and patriotic followership in this country. Unless we have that, we will not be able to have the system, the effective security system, which I have made mention in. Because the bold bond of Nigerian security has been broken or has been weakened over decades. We just have to revitalize. We have to bring it back to functioning. All measures that will continue to be taken may not provide required or sufficient results. And in most cases, you see the result will be very temporal. Just like what we had, before this, we have a break of attacks on school and bombardment. But we still continue to also have a resurrection of that, simply because we do not have a system, an effective system to take care of the preventive spectrum, detective spectrum, response spectrum, and response and resilience spectrum. So except we have this, and we will definitely have a, we'll be relaxed and be having confidence that we are safe and secured. As far as I'm concerned, even the citizens are beginning to understand that except we have reliable policy against terrorism and implementations of effective security operational security strategy, then definitely we do not have confidence even in the system. But that I will still enjoy the followers, that is Nigerians, to still have hope, because hope matters. Hope itself is a security. When you do not have hope, you do not have security. But then we should have genuine hope. We should not have pseudo hope. Pseudo hope is deceptive. You still feel like it will be all right. But if there is nothing on ground to make it all right, it will never be all right. Just to tell you that as you pray, you have to back off your prayer with action. So Nigerian government must ensure, or the security agencies must ensure effective security system, effective and practical strategy, and that they should also have this strategy of engagement. Make sure that all the stakeholders involved. You can't fight this kind of war with the government apparatus alone. The community, especially the central figures of the community, which are the elites. Yes, you need popular support, but you also need elitist support, just like the way I made mention from last program. You also must have a highly organized security structure, architecture that is highly professional. You should also look at the policy. You should also look at the mixture of kinetics and non-kinetics approach. You should also have a clear policy against terrorism. This issue of whether you negotiate or not negotiate, you just have to have a clear, that is what we call security policy or defense policy. Are you negotiating with them, and are you really negotiating on the actual framework or principles of negotiation, or are you adopting Americans' model of non-negotiation with the terrorists? Whatever is it, you must have a clear policy, not a declaration that we are not negotiating with terrorists, but behind the doors we see videos and clips, even though we do not see the representative of government. But then government should be able to arrest those involved if the government is not aware or is not mandating that it occur. So we cannot do these things under the shadow. This is a policy that must be clear. You must have a clear policy. And even the tactics and the strategies, when you are undergoing on operations, like, what do you call it? Clearing operations. You need coordinated operations. You cannot be attacking or striking on Zamfara axis without taking care of the neighboring countries or the expected fluid routes of Birnin Gwari, of that is Kaduna, because Zamfara is network eclipse of terrorists, that is bandits. You have Kaduna here, bordered with Zamfara. You have Katsina. You have Kebbi, even through, I think, Zulu or what have you. You have Sokoto. So this is the six. What do you do about it? You must have a coordinated approach. Yes, because if you do this, you attack them here, they will flee because they are flexible to the other place. So you must just have, one, a clear policy. Two, you must have a standard security operational strategy on how to combat terrorism.
So coming back to the issue of reopening schools, so how it impacts the overall educational landscape in Kebbi and Niger states?
It will, if schools are back, educational system will be back on track. And it is also the expectation that schools should be having conducive atmosphere. Students should have conducive atmosphere to learn, and they cannot learn under the threat of terrorism. And that it means if all things are equal, just like the way I alluded rather, that if all the necessary assessment has been done, what the terrain, what the trend, what the threat assessments, and that it is concluded that it is okay to open some parts of the schools, fine. If that is done or is done, the decision is according to this technical assessments. I think we are good to go, and that it is a plus to the educational development of not only these places but to the country in general.
Given the recent developments about the concerns of school safety and measures to be taken, what advice will you offer to Kebbi state government and Niger as they move forward with their decision to open schools?
I have already given advices in my own analysis, but I'm going to be very specific to, because when I was making the explanation, I was doing the mixture. So I will also summarize anyway and picked from what I have already said, that they should ensure that the decision is the product of the well-examined, what do you call it, situation, and that it is the product of proper professional assessment of the situation. If they know that they do not have confidence in the people that make the assessment, I think they should also require more hands from the expertise. I cannot say that those that are recruited by government are not professionally enough to handle the issue. But I always believe that two hands are better than one. Consultations matters, especially in a very complex and complicated situation. Fight against terrorism. Not only in Nigeria, globally, it is a very complicated issue. Because we are dealing with guerrilla warfare, guerrilla tactics. We are not dealing with clear confrontation or direct confrontation. So even the involvement of the community engagement, that is community engagement, strategic community engagement, not ordinary community engagement. I think this is also good, even though they decided to act on the assessment, but they should also add more measures like this community engagement, awareness, threat awareness. Even the students need to have certain knowledge about, maybe if they detected something, they could be able to communicate, and action could be taken to prevent that. Most of the students are not security conscious. So this is it, because the subject of protections I need to be well equipped with knowledge of the threat around him. He could be playing with fire without knowing, just like a kid. You understand? So if you do not know, you cannot be able to respond. And after responding, what the school will do also, we should provide access. How could they do with the information that maybe a student that went for an errand around the fence of the school and he noticed, or he saw something, or he saw a sign of a movement, or he sees something that could be further be analyzed to detect whether something is wrong. Even the community members around the school, it could be engaged so that they could be able to, maybe somebody is going to go now and maybe notice something very questionable. It doesn't matter whether he has seen sense in what he saw, but that if he's encouraged to report, those people that can verify the information and see whether it is a handy intelligence to act upon, it could also save. Yes. They should also look at the broader war against the terrorism, because if you do not take care of the general threats in the area or in the country, the schools, no matter the system you put in place, it may not be that kind safe. Yes.
So thank you very much, Malam Dimbo, security expert and founder, Nobel Expedia Consults Limited, and also a lecturer in criminology and security studies, Iconic University. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us and for honoring our invitation.
Thank you very much.
With this, we come to the end of today's edition of the program Midday Vibes. On behalf of our production crew and our guests, Malam Nora, I am Hajara Usman Attajiri, saying until next time, stay blessed.